What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of our WandaVision recap show here on Certified Gumbo's channel. Joining me today is JBM and Donovan. What's happening, fellas?
Donabino. Coop,
hello.
what up?
Hey, man. Shoot, another Friday, another good episode of WandaVision, man. That's what's up.
Yeah,
That's what's up. Imani will not be joining us this weekend. She is on vacation. She's out of town, so she'll be joining us next weekend as usual. So I think this weekend it'll just be the fellas pretty much on these streams.
Yeah, man.
But hey, while we wait, well, there's some people in the comments in the watching right now. Where do we rank this episode? Are we gonna do a 1 to 10? Because I feel like my scale has to keep adjusting. I feel like I'm not honestly ranking these episodes because they keep getting better and better, and I think I'm over ranking some of my episodes personally.
Yeah, I feel like this one.
I felt like this one was kind of like a tease. Almost.
It is. It does feel like a setup.
It's like a filler episode, so I don't want to rank this one.
But a good filler.
It's hard to rank it, right? Without the context, without seeing where it leads. It sets up a lot of
stuff, but they didn't show us stuff. You know what I mean?
They did, man. They teased a lot of stuff. That can pan out not only for the show, but for other properties within Phase 4 and 5 within the Marvel cinematic universe going forward. So, I guess the first big thing is the Monica Rambeau and her photon, her actually showing her abilities for the first time. That was a big reveal.
That entering the bubble is accelerating the genetic code. Yeah, I guess
right.
Gene.
But did it? Because it seemed to be. If we go back to those other episodes, I can't remember. Was it maybe 4 or 5 when we got that first glimpse outside of the bubble and she had to go get her vitals scanned and they came back and the image was all white. What that was episode 4, right? If I remember correctly.
Yeah, when they did her lab test.
Yeah, it seems like she knew or had some level of awareness of her abilities, and I think that this episode kind of sort of confirms that this isn't something that happened because of the bubble. I think she's been living with that because I keep going back to the audio that was playing while she was walking through the barrier. It seemed like it was implying that there was a conversation between Nick Fury, because I keep the subtitles up while I'm watching these episodes, so I know exactly who's saying what. Got a 6.5 in the comment. So 6.5 for the episode. That's interesting. I know mine is not that low. I definitely would.
I mean, I can understand that rating because
I can without context. I can totally understand that ranking and it being that low. Second Street, what's going on, man?
What's happening?
Yeah. So you hear Maria, you hear the younger version of herself, you hear Nick Fury all in the background. There's a conversation happening with
Arizona.
Checking it. Yeah, she's out of town.
Oh, nice.
Did you? I think she flew. I think she left a couple hours ago. So,
shoot, why you there? Holler at P. Rich.
Oh, word up. As a matter of fact, if you we can give you. I don't know if you have P. Rich's number, but definitely try to reach out to him since he's out there.
Yeah. Can, give you the 411 on the lay of the land.
Word. So she said the episode was booty. That's wild because that is wild. That is wild.
You didn't like the Office opening?
I never watched The Office, so I never. Really
oh yeah, we're clearly in the mid to late 2000s with the TV show now.
They should have went with Parks and Recs, but
there was a blend of that though. But The Office really kind of set that fourth wall interview, breaking the barrier in the middle of the episode. It popularized it. I won't say it established it, but it definitely made it as popular as it is now in most modern TV shows. So that's another thing too.
Yeah, they did a really good job with the theme song too. How it mirrored The Office and the WandaVision.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool.
What did they do? They merged it.
Kinda, yeah.
It's the like opening... it's a real like it's a tropey music for like this type of show.
People sell paper.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got that. Yeah,
there was also something I noticed in the beginning. Speaking of the intro, like at first her name is the only thing that's popping up in the intro title in the text, and it's not till the end where that final title card has WandaVision. But up until that point, it's just her. I thought that was like interesting. Like it seemed to be establishing that there's a disconnect between her and Vision. And then the beginning of the episode kind of reaffirms that they're like, he's outside of the bubble. He's
inside the bubble.
Yeah,
just outside of the house.
Yeah, he's still unconscious technically, I guess. Sequentially, like because when we see him, he's still like knocked out on the ground, and then he wakes up, and then he's around in the circus, and we see Darcy. But even before that point, like with Wanda, she seems to be very like out of it. Like you can tell that she's on the verge of like a mental break, like even more so than in the other episodes. Like she was completely out of it. Yeah, like she was just like.
I also think that expanding the bubble took a lot out of her, exerted a lot of energy. So she's having a hard time sustaining that magic.
Yeah. And it actually looks like a hex now, more and more.
Yeah.
That
one back to what you were saying, Coop, with Rambo. I don't think you got to finish your point. You were saying that she was you were saying that she knew about her powers. And I feel like she had a feeling too that she had some powers. But I also think her going in and out that bubble just sped it up, and it finally came out. I don't know if she was.
So I can buy that as well. But I think that she exhibited. I don't know if she had her full photon like powers of like, that full manifestation of becoming like basically light. But I think from that conversation that was happening while she was passing through the barrier with Nick Fury and her younger self and her mom, like the context was that her mom had been offered a mission to go out into space. She refused because she wanted to spend time she couldn't leave, Monica by herself, basically. Monica was like, no, I'll stay with grandma. It's fine. Like you just go, like it's so cool because go find, I think she said, find out Carol or something, maybe something to that effect. And then you hear Nick Fury's voice Monica says, maybe I can fly and meet you halfway.
Yeah.
And then Nick Fury says, no, not until you can glow like your Aunt Carol. So I think that she's had her power since she was young, but I don't know how fully they've manifested themselves.
Can dig it.
She seemed to be able to control it too, a lot more than I anticipated. Like, because when she emerges, she's got her eyes turned blue, and like you see, the world through her eyes and everything within the spectrum like realm, right? And like she's able to snap out of it, kind of sort of. And I'm like, maybe that's just for the sake of TV, like they're giving her that level of control, but or she could have had experienced this in the past. I don't know. There's no way to tell, but till we get some confirmation.
Yeah, I feel like that vision was something that she had for the first time, and she was like couldn't believe what she was seeing, so she closed them. And
Dan H, what's happening? Yeah.
Happy endings.
Yeah. So like, Wanda is losing control of the world. I thought that was very interesting. Like that to me was a sign that she's on the verge of breaking. Like stuff in the house is changing and she's not able to control like when things are phasing from time period to time period. Like we even see the house in a degraded state. So like I'm starting to think that like the house is abandoned that that she's living in.
Yeah. The GameCube controllers to like Atari controllers.
Yeah, like they were phased and then they turned into Uno cards at one point, which like I thought was interesting. And then I think the most interesting part early in that first act was when she's sitting on the couch with the kids, and I think she's explaining to them that she doesn't have all the answers. I think she's like admitting that she doesn't entirely know what all's going on. And then I don't know if you hear a knock or if you can hear Agnes coming up, but Wanda uses her powers to unlock the door and open it and says, "Hey Agnes, come on in." Like she knows it's Agnes coming in. Like, and then she just blatantly uses her powers to open the door. And another big confirmation, because I won't say it's a reveal necessarily, because we've been saying this since like the first episode that Agnes is Agatha Harkness, and she finally revealed that, and I thought that was like one of the funniest reveals I've seen. Like that was hilarious.
That was the most entertaining part of the episode.
Yeah. Absolutely, that was funny to me. Like even like the part where
I killed the dog.
I killed the dog too. Like that actually made me laugh like out loud. Like it was just the way they handled that reveal, because it's kind of like it's the worst kept secret, and I think they knew it was the worst kept secret. And so instead of like having some like, you know, dramatic intro, they just went like full on commercial sitcom style reveal, and I thought it fit perfect.
Yeah, and to see her behind all those actions.
Yeah, you see the truth of it.
Like the real villain who we've been kind of getting to, we won't see in the actual series. He may pop up at the end credits of the season, but I don't think we're gonna see him in the actual season.
I mean, you might hear his voice, but I don't know. You may not see him, but
on
it might be
like
off
type
camera.
Stuff. Oh, Wanda.
Yeah, like that.
That's a possibility.
I have your kids, Wanda, your children.
No, that's where they had those babies at.
Born to your life.
Oh, but see, that's also true too. Like when when Agnes takes the kids, I was like, oh yeah, it's over now. Like this all but confirms like she's about to break. Like,
yeah.
Because I knew once she took the kids to her house, like we weren't going to see the kids for the rest of the episode. Like
did y'all feel like that was an eerie moment, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was intended to be
in there. And I like that.
That was a significant thing, because Wiccan says, I like it here.
I can't hear you.
Yeah, Agnes is dead on the inside.
Can you hear me?
No, I'm saying that's what Wiccan said. He's like,
oh, okay.
Sorry.
I thought you were saying you couldn't hear me.
My bad.
No. Oh man. No. Oh man, that had me confused. All right. Cool.
No, it's like Wiccan was like, I can't hear you.
So yeah. He says it's quiet here. I like it. Yeah. It's quiet. And then he says you're quiet on the inside, and I was like, what does that mean? Like,
yeah. And I like how they
she's soulless. Like, what does he mean by that?
Yeah. And I like how their outfits look like their costumes, too. The color schemes.
They're still wearing their costumes.
Yeah, well, the color schemes, pretty much.
Yeah, the color and style of
What are their color schemes?
Well, Speed is mostly green and like gray, and Wiccan's like blue and red for the most part.
Yeah.
So where the kids go? Where y'all think? What y'all think happened to the kids? They inside that book?
They're hanging out with Mephisto, probably.
Either they're hanging out with Mephisto, or they've been sacrificed to help bring Mephisto to the physical realm.
Yeah.
Are those kids even real?
Yes, they are real. She created them. Like, it's not
I wonder if they're like Vision, and if they can't go outside of the bubble, or they'll start, deteriorating. That'd be interesting.
I don't know. I think,
because technically, whatever's created inside that universe, she has her own universe in that bubble. Would it survive. The only example we've seen is Vision, and Vision he wouldn't be able to survive. So
no, because the clothes that Monica was wearing survived outside of the bubble. The car,
but those are clothes she brought into the bubble. Like those weren't made inside the bubble.
But it's possible that I don't know. It's possible that she has manifested these kids. Like maybe it's a self-conception, like almost like asexual type conception of the children.
Mm-hmm.
It's possible.
Yeah, I feel like they wouldn't be able to go outside the bubble.
I think they will, because Speed and Wiccan are part of the Young Avengers, and they are real. So I think that they can and will at some point leave the bubble.
It makes sense. Yeah, I don't see Disney killing off 2 kids like that.
Nah, like that's the interesting thing. Like how they bring Mephisto into this, and how all of this ties together. Something interesting too that happened even before we even get to the book, when we're in the house with Agnes, right?
Like the book of Callisto, whatever it's called.
No, the Darkhold.
Okay.
Before the rabbit is an interesting thing. Like I think the rabbit is a familiar for Agnes, instead of like, because usually the witches have like familiars, which are pets, or like these conjured entities that are, I think, like partially manifestations of their souls.
Yeah, I was like, what's up with this rabbit?
I think that's what the rabbit is. The rabbit could also be Mephisto or Nightmare, possibly.
Is that the same rabbit used in the magic show in episode 2?
Yes, it was. Because I think they showed it in the cutscene when during the reveal of Agatha Harkness. They showed that was her. They also showed that she was somehow manipulating Petro, but we don't know. That's an interesting thing, because I'm like, how did she bring him into this? You know what I'm saying? Because that he's not even a part. That version's not a part of this universe. Like that's from the Fox X-Men universe. But when you watch the episode, like it even says that it's Petro from the Fox. It's Quicksilver from the Fox universe. Like, so how did she bring a being from another dimension, like another multiverse, into this universe and inside of Wanda's alternate universe?
Yeah, maybe she, did her magic and just made a body that looked like him.
Nah, that's not. It's not going to be that simple. Because they could have, if that were
people in Westview.
If that were the case, then they could have just recast or brought in the dead version of Quicksilver from the 616, from the Marvel universe that we know. Like,
I read something where he got fired or something like that. I don't know how true that is, but I read something where he got replaced for a specific reason. I could totally be wrong though.
No, they had to kill him off because Fox wanted Quicksilver in their universe.
Kill him off? No, I mean the one from the Marvel movies, the one that died. I read something that said he was supposed to come back as Quicksilver, but he was let go for whatever reason. But like I said, I might be completely wrong about that.
I haven't heard that, but I've heard rumors of this version of the Fox version of Quicksilver appearing in the MCU more than I've heard of the original version. That just goes back for some years. So even before the show happened, I was hearing rumors that he was going to somehow appear in the MCU. But it could be. I don't know. I haven't heard that. And then no one seems to be cooperating that story. But it could be true. I don't know.
I'm probably completely wrong. I have no weight in that.
Does the circle 10 on the calendar mean they're going to go ahead and do 10 episodes? I have no idea. I didn't even notice there was a 10 circle on the calendar. I guess is this in her kitchen?
Mean? What's the number 10 mean in numerology? Let's see what we got. What we got here.
So we go down into the basement because this is the big thing that happens in this.
Into the basement.
Into the basement. We get the reveal that she. Oh, am I frozen?
No. The number 10 resembles human divinity. All potential, all possibility. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
That is interesting. I think the most
authority of God is government on earth. 10, symbol of the authority of God and his government on earth. Yeah, that's definitely got some similarities to what we've been seeing or what we've been theorizing with the villains of this show. Speaking of villain, Wanda tried to straight up kill Rambo, didn't she?
No,
she tried to pile drive him into the ground. That was a 20-foot slam. Human would have died.
Did she slam? I thought she caught herself. Or I thought she broke free.
Rambo caught herself. She used the power to
she broke free of the grass.
Impact. Nah, she didn't break free from the grass. She just slowed down the thrust. So like, you know what I mean? She was throwing her to the ground and then she used her power to slow that down and she landed.
Okay. I view that different. I thought she had broken free of the grasp and just landed.
Oh no!
I mean,
throw her to the ground. Just get one a quick 2-piece. Yep.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, I was surprised she went straight to the house though. I was expecting her to meet up with Vision.
Oh no! What? Who? Monica?
Yeah.
Oh no, I wouldn't. She said. I mean, she said before she went in there that she was going to go help Wanda. Like that was her whole goal of going in there. So, yeah, I didn't see her interacting with Vision, and I figured that I anticipated Vision was going to interact with Darcy in the first place because they were right there anyway. Yeah. I mean, they were just proximity wise. That was just the smart option.
I like
the Cicada
together too.
And I knew Darcy wasn't going to be too far gone when they found her. I think I said that last episode. I was like, there's no, like, I didn't see her becoming like one of the clowns or her being like the other agents. Like they made her this escape artist, and it's like, all right, that makes sense because she's not going to stay in this for too long. And you know, Vision helps her break free of the spell. So I thought that was cool. That was a cool sequence. And then another interesting thing, and I've seen a lot of people online talking about it, is the cicada that was on the curtain in Agatha's basement house.
No, that was in the living room, right? It
was in the living room. Yep. A lot of people called it like a it was like it's a fly because like Mephisto manifests himself as a fly a lot of times in the comic books. So people were speculating and are speculating that the cicada is Mephisto, which it could be. It's possible. Like it's interesting they chose a cicada over a fly. But they did intentionally show that it was in there. I also saw something, someone was speculating that the rabbit could be Nightmare and then the cicada or the fly could be Mephisto. So I mean, those are all cool.
They weren't in there when Wanda walked into the. Or were they in there when she?
The rabbit, the rabbit. Those are, or unless she turned them into, unless she turned the kids into the rabbit, and the And the cicada.
Because like, if the cicada and the rabbit were occupied by them two, then maybe she, flip flopped it, used the kids' bodies to transfer or whatever.
Yeah, like transfer their souls into the animals. That's possible. Because it didn't like it. It seems like if she had already done whatever ritual she needs to do in order to bring Mephisto into the real world, she would have done that because she had, she technically has everything she needs. She's got the kids. But yeah, Mephisto wasn't in this episode, but we do see the what people are speculating is the Darkhold, which is in the basement. They flash it on screen very quickly, and that is the big reveal from this episode because that implicates a lot of things.
Can you bring a picture of that up? Can we see that?
The Darkhold.
Darkhold. Now that's what, like a book of death or something?
Darkhold is basically it's like the Rosette of dark magic. In Marvel universe, it's an ancient book. It's actually made of matter, but it's got like all of the, black magic, dark spells. It was used to create vampires, which could tie Blade into this series as well. If that's because if it is indeed the Darkhold, like the Darkhold is the source of all like dark magic on Earth, and it's been here since the beginning of time. I can't remember the sorcerer that created the Darkhold. I think
Sauron.
Is it Holden Radcliffe? I think. No,
you said Daniel Radcliffe. What?
Holden Radcliffe. The person's name who created the Darkhold.
Jeez. No idea.
But it was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Let me see.
It was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. How did it pop up in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? What was going on there? I've never watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, I think I got like 10 episodes into that show.
What were they using it for? Like conjuring up someone who had passed away, or?
They were dark magic. I think I want to say Hydra or some associate of Hydra was using it to. I might be. I don't know. I can't. I don't know. I didn't see the episode. I just saw a synopsis online, but it was used in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and I believe it was also used in the Runaways. That's what I've also heard. Trying to find a good image. Open image.
The book.
Okay, that's kind of small.
So this is like the Book of the Dead, pretty much similar.
Basically, yeah, it's the Marvel equivalent of the Book of the Dead.
It's the Rosetta Stone of the Dark Ages. Do we have a visual? Damn, that book ugly. Looks like a integrated circuit, like a computer chip.
Yeah, that's the cover is interesting.
Hey, what's that? A key?
Could be.
And that red glow,
but it is protected. There's some sort of warding spell around it. It seems to be.
It looks like the same material that Wanda can, manifest.
Yeah, somebody was also speculating that it was in Doctor Strange. It was in the the
deleted scene, I think.
One of the sanctums. I think the one in the not in, I want to say the Himalayan mountains where the Sorcerer Supreme was.
Okay.
But yeah, so like there's all type of connections. So like now I'm starting to speculate that whatever happens, somehow the book is going to get used, and when that happens, that's when that outburst of dark energy is going to alert the Sanctum in Doctor Strange, and that's when Doctor Strange is going to appear.
Yeah, I can see that. That would make sense. I feel like Agatha needs Wanda to open this book.
Probably. And I think she has to do so without alerting any of the there's no way she's going to be. I don't think she can take on Doctor Strange by herself without having like some sort of without having using the book first. So like if she can't get the book open without alerting the Sanctum to use to cast whatever spell, do whatever she's trying to do. I think that Doctor Strange is just he's gonna appear as soon as that source of energy is detected, and it's gonna be problems for Agnes. So now with having the kids, to your point, wherever she's keeping them, if she's going to use that to leverage Wanda to open the book, maybe take down that ward so that she can open the book and use the spell, that could be interesting.
Also, she might. I could see something where she uses Wanda as an offensive tool against Monica Rambeau. Or if what's his name from Sword goes after Vision, then that's just going to give Monica fuel to go off. So.
Well, did you see the post-credit scene?
We watched it, right, Doc?
Yeah.
Post-credit scene. It happened with what happened? I forget.
Wanda, Monica showed up to Agatha's house, and then
Buddy walked up on her.
Yeah.
So she might be already down there with them, or under another spell.
Yeah, so that was an interesting thing, because it's like, is she controlling him now? Like, because that's a lot.
Controlling him? She would have to be controlling him.
That's the question, because like it seems like right now she is controlling them, based on what was revealed
of the house.
Yeah. Possibly, we don't know. Well, I mean, the last we saw him, he got blasted by Wanda's power, and then I mean, really, we're led to believe that she's still controlling them, but we don't really have confirmation that she is. Like, she could have just used him for that moment, and like after Wanda hit him with that blast of energy, like maybe she had her use. He's been used to his full effectiveness. So like, I don't know.
I feel like she's still using them. Like that's one of her weapons. One of the lines of defense for getting into the dungeon.
I guess, but I mean, I feel like she could use a better person to like. There's stronger characters or things that she could possibly use.
That's what she used
as a defense. Like, I mean, you're dealing with people like
this related.
You would think you want a sorcerer, but if you're going to ward the house, like if you're going to have a protector of the house, like Quicksilver wouldn't be my first pick, because ideally this person, you wouldn't even see this person. Like they would just exist inside the house and appear anytime someone was trespassing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. If you're already a sorcerer like Agnes is, and you can use Quicksilver to your advantage because that's a soft spot for Wanda, and you trying to build favor with Wanda, then that's almost like a good choice to use, because now she's going to be sympathetic to him, so she's more likely to fight on your side.
Yeah, but that's understandable to manipulate Wanda, but dude is not going to be useful to defend the house, like against someone like a Monica or Doctor Strange or even Vision. Like he doesn't have superhuman strength, or like he's just got superhuman speed. You know what I'm saying? Like he's just a speedster. Like he doesn't have superpowers other than that. Like he's not super strong. He just has speed, which is a lot, but it's not like that's not a first line defender. Like he can still be useful to leverage against Wanda, but I wouldn't use him to like protect her fortress in her coven.
Are you what are you leaning towards? He's just like snapped out of her control, and now
it's possible. I mean, it's possible. Like I think that the way they did it, it could be interpreted to the viewer as he's still under her control, or maybe he snapped out of it and is just trying to see what Monica's intentions are.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the possibilities.
It's possible.
The possibilities.
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. And this, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of questions now, because I even go back to that, what was it, episode 4 or 5, when Quicksilver appeared, the alarms were blaring in the sword base, indicating that there was a breach in the barrier. Like he was literally, and then he was at her front door. So someone broke through the barrier. Like I don't see, like that's a wild thing for me to imagine, that like this dude ran from one multiverse to another entirely under what's her name's spell. Like that's wild. That's a wild assumption. Because he's not even a part of this universe. And like it was implied that he's not a part of this universe. They have different memories, they got different experiences. Like they made it really clear that that's not the version of her brother that she remembers.
Yeah. I mean, you know, he could have been, Agnes could have put something in his ear too to make him leave, to come out to where Wanda was, you know. She's got like access to the underworld, right? She can go to different universes, I would assume, but I have no idea.
Who? Agatha?
Agatha, yeah.
Not possibly, but like she could have done that without him having to enter like she could have just conjured him inside her house and then had him go next door. Like, why is he coming from outside of the bubble and entering? Something entered the barrier that they couldn't detect. It was moving too fast, but they noticed that there was a breach, and that's why the alarms were going off. And then next scene is Quicksilver at Wanda's front door. So like someone entered. Now, whether or not that is Quicksilver, we can't say for sure. It's led to believe that person was Quicksilver, but like, you know, that to me that it creates more questions than answers.
And speaking of that, what is the Nexus?
Basically,
Wanda. The Nexus.
It is it says it's a portal through all dimensions and all realities.
Oh, well, see,
it's a gateway.
There you go. What you call it? Agnes used the Nexus to pull out Quicksilver. She was like, "Yo, blah 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 blah." He came in. She did her woolly woo magic on him, and he's under her spell.
That's what I'm saying. But like, if she has access to the Nexus from her basement, like what came in through the barrier? That's what I'm saying.
I mean, I don't know. You know, it's questions, possibilities.
That's what I'm saying. Like that someone entered
the underworld. Maybe he had to. You know, he's a speedster. He uses Speed Force. Oh no, it's DC.
No, that's
not. Yeah,
well, he can run. He probably just ran right through the bubble.
But if she conjured him through, like he wouldn't have to go through the bubble because the Nexus is in her basement. Like she would have just been able to conjure him up from the Nexus, pull him through basement, and there would have been no need for anyone to enter or him to enter the bubble.
What if that was the actual detection? Like when someone came in, it was them detecting that he came in through the underground.
Because it's a perimeter sensor, so they wouldn't. But it's a perimeter sensor, so like it's just detecting things that are entering from the externally or internally from the outside of the bubble. So if something were to appear on the inside, like if they were to conjure or
so like yes, it's a perimeter, but in the earlier episode when the guy in the HVAC suit, he went underground through the tunnel. But as soon as he crossed that threshold of the perimeter, he started changing. So that, in theory, could detect an entry point. You know what I mean? So maybe, I don't know.
But he wasn't but Quicksilver isn't changed. Everything that enters gets altered. So like he had to have come through the Nexus. If he would have come from the outside, like he would have somehow changed. Yeah, and if he did change, let's say he was outside of the bubble, he's the Petro, but he's dead. Like this, you know what I'm saying? Like the Petro from the 616 universe, this current MCU that Wanda knows, he's dead, going deceased. He's been gone for years. Yep. His body's decaying. Like there's no way that that version of him came from outside and entered the bubble and then turned into the Fox version of Quicksilver. So like,
put it on a pillow.
It's got to be.
Woolly woo.
It has to be the Nexus, or like someone, like I said, coming from the Quicksilver, coming from, I don't know. It's weird. They got to answer that question.
Point though, he didn't change when he entered the bubble, and anyone who crosses through that bubble changes. So him using, or Agatha using the Nexus to bring him through would have had to.
And he's not affected by Wanda's magic either. Like,
yeah, what you mean? Oh, the mind control.
Yeah, but that means Agnes is as much in control of the bubble and what goes on inside the bubble as Wanda is. Like Wanda does not and I've been saying that from jump. She does not have complete control of what's going on in there. And
you think Agnes is pretty much controlling most of the people? Like,
I think the majority. I think the majority of what's going on.
What episode it was when Vision was at the office? That one guy was like in Terra, and was like, I don't think Wanda would have done that. So that must have been Agnes.
I think that's, and I think Agnes is there to solely take advantage of what Wanda has done, and she just, she's a sorcerer, so she can live inside this bubble without being affected.
I disagree. I think Agnes is in control of the people inside Westview.
Why would she?
And why would she be in control of everyone in Westview
versus Wanda doing it?
Well, Wanda admitted that she's not in control of everything and everything that happens within the bubble.
Because even in the
she doesn't even know how it happened.
What was happening
even in the first two episodes, Wanda was like, I don't know. She was like, she seemed almost still under control.
Yeah.
Wanda, the first two episodes, it seemed like she was like under a spell. Because to her, it was like, oh, normal.
And she would have known about the heart thing, like, and the dinner. Like, if Wanda was in control, like them not knowing who was coming to dinner and what the heart was and the significance of the heart in that first episode was on the calendar. Like, why wouldn't she know what that is?
The heart?
Yeah, because remember in the first episode, she and Vision were trying to figure out why there was a heart on that day in the calendar. They thought it was because it was an anniversary, and like they were trying to figure out like what the significance of the heart was on the calendar. And then it, when Vision went to work, it was revealed that it was the Hearts coming over for dinner, and they had dinner that night. Like, and both of them were clueless. And she also made the point that she has, I believe her when she told Vision that she does not control the day-to-day lives of everyone in Westview, and like, you know, getting people to dinner, like dental appointments and kids to school and all that. Like she's not in control of that. Like I don't think she is. I think she has control over like the reality stuff, like the visuals and the aesthetics of like Westview, them going through the different time periods. She definitely has control over. But I think Wanda or Agatha is creating this false reality, or helping Wanda create this false reality that, you know, satiates her fantasy of Vision and herself living together.
Yeah, I can dig that.
Because like, why would they, and also another point being that the kids, like they didn't know why they wanted kids. Like who's influencing everyone in the neighborhood asking about, you know, when Wanda and Vision are going to have children? Like who's sowing that? Like the only person that could be controlling their thoughts in that moment is Agnes, and like getting them to ask her questions about certain things and planting seeds in her head. Like Agnes is the one that's in control of people's minds.
So what about the people on the near the perimeter of the wall that's like glitching out?
She's not controlling them directly. Like that's why they're frozen. Like she's concentrating all her power on the immediate people. That way it's not a strain on her powers.
So the people who are on the perimeter, that's what you're saying, that's what would actually,
she's keeping them sedated.
Population would actually look like that if it was only Wanda being in control.
I don't think Wanda would be controlling them at all. I think that Agnes has everyone under this mind control spell, and that she is, or at least has convinced them that it's Wanda who is inflicting all of this pain onto them. But I think it's Agnes, because she's the villain in this scenario. So like I think she wants everyone to believe that everything is Wanda's fault.
Yeah, I can see that. But what we have, like 2-3 episodes left?
It's 2 more episodes.
Dang, they're gonna have to show a lot.
Yeah, they're supposed to be hour long.
And not an hour.
It's like
38 minutes.
Yeah.
30 minutes. 38 minutes this episode was.
Yeah, it's 38. So
well, 38, that's including the credits.
That's including the credits?
Yeah.
This episode's like 28 minutes in.
Yeah. So like
yeah,
because credits are like 5 minutes.
No,
I think like 7.
At least the end credits are 7, and then you have the opening credits, which are like 3 or 4. So you got at least 10 minutes of credits.
I don't think it's not. The opening is not 10 minutes.
No, altogether credits. You have 7 at the end, and then like 3 to 4 in the beginning, including the the previously on and all that. So it's like,
oh, that's but I don't know. Okay, sure.
Yeah,
I think it's closer to like 8 minutes. But anyway, because there's no way. Because I wouldn't have the attention span to sit through 3 minutes of credits on top.
Let's see. Hold on, I gotta check this. I gotta check it.
I want to know why all this was being broadcast in the first place. Like, who's trying to communicate to who, and now it's not being broadcast at all. So why is it still a TV show? So I think that the broadcast, that is Wanda, but I believe the perception, I think Agnes wants everyone to believe that Wanda is to blame for everything going on. Because the lens, if you judging from the perspective of the broadcast and what we know from inside of the show, like Wanda is completely in control of all of this. Like that's just, the That's the perspective that's given, but I don't think that that's 100% true. I think a lot of it is a deception. Agnes is a sorcerer, so she's a witch. Like, she is deceitful to her nature. So like, I think that's part of the illusion that she's trying to create. I think she wants people to see Wanda as the real villain, so they don't put any focus or emphasis on her. She's also done a good job of presenting herself as the ally and the friend to Wanda. Like, she's the only one now that Wanda 100% trusts up until this episode, like up until the end of the episode. But at that point, I believe it's too late. Like, she's already done what she needs to do, and she's already got Wanda in her snares, bro. She pulled a Palpatine.
Mm-hmm. I think they covered that in episode 4. How the TV signal is going out. It's something to do with the bubble that they can pick up on the signal somehow.
It's the radiation emanating from the bubble,
aka the woolly woo.
So it's the
hex.
Yeah, it's the cosmic radiation, and then the analog signal was the only thing that could like intercept it. Because they had no idea what was going on the inside until Darcy plugged in the analog TV. But before she plugged in TV, they had no idea what was going on inside the bubble. They had no transmission. They couldn't send or receive anything from inside the bubble. The only way they could see was through the analog TV screen. So I think that's kind of sort of what it was, a happy accident that Darcy just so happened to be there to put those clues together.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's.
So I wanted to ask.
Well, yeah, that's stating the obvious.
You guys think they were trying to rebuild Vision and turn him into a weapon again?
Absolutely. He's a vibranium sentient weapon, so they were definitely trying to repurpose him.
That's without question. And I believe that's the Skrulls, because like I said, Hayward is a Skrull, and I think they want Vision as a weapon. Yeah. Vision would be a great deterrent and an asset to the Skrulls, especially if there's a militant group of Skrulls, which I believe Hayward is a part of, or a radical group, I'll say.
Radical.
Because I think there are parts of I think there's some members of the Skrulls, like the person, I forget the man's name, that we meet in Captain Marvel, but I think there are some that are like really just want to find a home within humanity, and then there's others that want other things.
Yeah, that's a good question, Captain's Log. I was wondering what that whole mole on the back thing was too. What y'all think of that?
Like, I don't know.
It's like that was just an odd moment. Like, it had to have a reason for it.
Possibly. I mean, I think out of all of that, I think her making that comment about she's bitten a kid before is like that stuck out to me more than the mole. I was just like, the mole was there, and then she mentioned that she had bitten a kid before, and they had that weird smile, and I was just like, yo, okay, what is that? Like, what is that about? Like, that took the whole mole out of the equation at that point.
Did I'm like, well, we biting kids? What's happening here?
Are we
still
listening? No, they're branching off into their R-rated section, I guess.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think, does FX launch next, or not FX, but Star? That launches, I think, in March on Disney Plus.
Yeah,
because that's going to allow them to host their R-rated content.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I completely forgot about that too. So I'd like for them to explain that, because that seemed the whole mole on the back and biting kids. That was different.
Yeah, but don't witches usually have moles? Isn't that like a thing?
Yeah, but on the back and them like trying to show it to you.
Oh yeah, unless it's like a mark
on the nose.
It might not be a mole. It might be something else. It might actually be like some sort of
it's like
seal or a mark or something. Yeah,
beast.
Might be the mark of the devil.
Orochimaru.
Might be the mark of the devil, because Mephisto is still involved. Like, we see some more Easter eggs of Mephisto.
Yeah, I saw horns down there in the basement.
Yeah, there was definitely a horned figure on the wall.
Yeah. The roots growing on the wall and all that. That was yeah.
Oh, yo, the purple magic. You saw the purple emanating, like the purple light emanating from the roots.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what is that? Was because
that's power stone.
Did I see it was that visible when Wanda walked down there, or was that only visible when we saw Monica? Is that her spectrum vision?
I think it might have been Monica's vision.
What?
Yeah, because I'm trying to think. Did I see that purple? Yeah, because when she opens the basement doors, the roots are like they're purple. There's like this purple light emanating from certain parts of the roots.
Oh, I gotta play that back.
Yeah,
but I can't remember.
I don't.
Yeah, it might have just been Monica.
And yeah, because that's what I'm trying. Like, when I saw it, I just assumed that it was there before, because I remember the roots, of course, when not Monica, but Wanda went down into the basement. I recall the roots, but the light was something I noticed with Monica. Not to say that it wasn't there when Wanda went down there, but I didn't notice it until Monica was going down into the basement. So I don't know if that's her spectrum vision coming through to see like some of that ethereal magic emanating from the roots, or what.
That would make sense. Yeah, that she can see what's magical and what's not.
Exactly.
I want to see Monica in action, bro. Like, I need to see this power.
Yeah, it's the same. She's got the same power as Captain Marvel.
Yeah, she's like the original Marvel, I think.
Her color is different, right? Because she had blue glow, and Captain Marvel had like orange.
Yeah, it's a blue white, and it's kind of like the same color as her eyes. It's like a bluish white tint to it.
I like.
And then her and Captain Marvel's is like a red blue. A red blue kind of, because like she's like.
So blue is consistent with both of them, right?
Yeah, because that's from the Space Stone.
Okay. Gotcha.
So yeah, like I think that she has like a photon blast, like just pure white light, which is why her vital scans came back as just pure white light and not you couldn't see anything. So yeah. All right. Anything else? I think that was pretty much it. I mean, I hope that we get confirmation in the next episode what that book was, because right now that's.
Yeah, I want to know who she went to go see. I felt like we were gonna see that in this episode, and they kind of just jumped right over it, because last episode she was like, "We got to go meet up with my astrophysicist friend."
Yeah,
this episode there was none of that. It was just
we're not going to see them.
Mars rover that popped up. I'm like, are they really going to use this to get in that bubble?
That was an armadillo from
gonna work.
Armageddon.
I didn't understand the tech part in this episode, because she apparently gave her a list of specs, and I'm like, all right, where did y'all come up with this list? You just ran into this bubble, and now you have a whole machine. I don't. Yeah,
so when they ran the analysis back in the Sword Shield on what the hex was and what it was made out of, I think she put together a list of things that she would need from a vehicle in order to enter without being altered by the magic. And I think that basically was what what that rover was made out of. And I don't think we're going to see the aerospace engineer that she was referring to.
How would the rover be made out of that when they just discovered the bubble? And we've only been in this situation for like a week. tops. You know what I mean?
Well, they just need it to be made of material that the hypothesis was that there's certain material that would not be altered when it went inside the bubble. And I think that that's what she expected to, with the anticipation that it wouldn't alter when it tried to enter. But her hypothesis was wrong. Yeah, that I think the rover, whatever the alloy or the metal was on the outside of the rover, would have been resistant to whatever specs, whatever she gave them.
That part, I was like, this whole thing was unnecessary. She just should have walked right through the bubble. She already knows she can enter the bubble. So
she did.
Part,
so
I don't know. But
last week they were like, don't go back in because it's like
because Darcy said that it had changed her from completely changed her cells in the 2 times that when she entered and when she exited, like it rewrit her cells, her cellular structure twice. So she was like, don't go back in because we don't know what the side effects of that will be. Like it could be
going back in anyway.
Yeah, she ended up going back in anyway. It was just a safety precaution. Like I think the rover was supposed to protect her from the effects of the bubble, and that just didn't. That failed. And I think because she was so determined to get inside to help Wanda, she just decided to risk it.
I think that was. I feel like that was more for the astrophysicist than it was for her trying to get in the bubble. So,
or from story wise, I think they wanted to set up an astrophysicist because they're
dropping another character, and so that's going to be a big one there because otherwise that doesn't really make sense why that all happened.
I think that person is it's either Reed Richards or Victor Von Doom that she was referring to, and I don't think we're going to see them in the show, but that's a good setup.
Yeah, I think because Rambo, I was reading up on it. Rambo had a love interest in an astrophysicist, and he was Blue Marvel. He was like a superhero, pretty much kind of like Captain Marvel himself.
That's a possibility.
Combination of like Captain America and Captain Marvel.
That's possible. I still don't think that he'll appear in this show though.
Yeah,
it's a good, like whoever it is, we're not going to see him. They because if they were going to show who that was, they would have been there to deliver the rover. I think whoever this person is, they're too occupied out somewhere in deep space doing stuff, which is why I'm like, it's either Blue Marvel is a good possibility. That's a strong possibility, as well as Reed Richards and Victor Von Doom. Either way, they're setting up a character for a future feature. For sure. I saw somebody online posted that like they would like to see like the astrophysicist or astroengineer be Victor Von Doom, and I don't know why that didn't cross my mind last week, but I read that and I was like, yeah, I wouldn't hate that, because Von Doom isn't always a villain. Like he's a prominent villain, but he's he started out as like
Me and Donovan were talking about that after the show. He was mentioning it like it might be Victor Von Doom.
Yeah, like he's a very likely candidate. Like, but Blue Marvel does make sense given that they do have a romantic relationship. That makes sense. I didn't even think about that till you mentioned it. So, I mean, those three, you can't go wrong in my opinion. Those three as an option. Like, I'm not going to hate either of those. Thomas.
Yeah, she's definitely a mutant. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're all mutants now. They're about to name drop mutant. They're about to call them mutants in a heartbeat. Another thing too, with this being related, the Darkhold thing. Like if this book is the Darkhold, that does tie. I believe that ties the Celestials and the Eternals into this as well.
Oh man.
And the Eternals created the mutant gene. I think that was if I recall correctly, that was kind of sort of before they went dormant. That was what they did as a failsafe to protect humanity. Basically, they created the mutant gene to lie dormant within the cells of humans, and if humanity was ever threatened by some, cataclysmic event, it would activate the mutant gene would activate in certain individuals.
Do you think they're gonna play into the 3 snaps that happen?
Yeah, absolutely. The snap was what is going to cause the mutant gene to activate in humanity.
Well, there's been 2 on Earth.
That would have to be it, because that's like the perfect bridge.
It's the perfect, right? It just so happens to work. So like half the population is wiped out. That's a perfect threat to activate the mutant gene, mutant X gene. And now with them owning Fox, they can now say mutants. Like, yeah, that's great. Like, perfect segue, which is why it's interesting that they chose Petrov, which we know is a Quicksilver mutant from the X-Men universe over at Fox. So it's like, now we're going to start seeing mutants. Now we're going to get the reveal that, Wanda was a mutant the whole time and not an enhanced human. Monica being possibly a mutant makes sense. Given both her and Captain Marvel are mutants, like for her to absorb the power of an Infinity Stone and survive, like, yeah, clearly you're not 100% normal human, right? Like you've got to have something that allows you to absorb the power of an Infinity Stone.
Yeah, it's like Star-Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Well, is
he technically a mutant in the comics? No, he's half a god. That's different. Like,
he's a god.
He's like a demigod. So that's a little different. He's already got his explanation.
A very dumb demigod.
Yeah, well,
got some airhead tendencies,
Some.
So he's up in the air, right? God,
he's very much an airhead.
Yeah, he could have been in the movie Airheads.
There was an Airheads movie.
Oh yeah, that was a funny movie. Brendan Fraser.
Yeah, The Lone Ranger.
Oh, okay. Never. I was thinking about the candy.
Oh.
I was like, why they made a movie based off of the caricature on the candy? Like, what? What in the Lego movie universe is going on?
That's funny.
But anyway, I think we can call this episode here.
Yeah, man, we can call it, man. Friday night. Y'all, what y'all doing for the weekend?
I'm working.
You working?
Yeah.
Mother's birthday is tomorrow, so I'll be making a road trip.
Word. Happy birthday to Mom Dukes.
Yeah, I might pop up on Coop's broadcast tomorrow for the cookout. We might do the dual setup.
Hey, man, I'm down for it.
This time.
You know what I'm saying? We got some gotta finalize topics. I don't know, gotta finalize them. I'll get back to you on that. So I'm gonna finalize those like right after the stream, and we'll post a thing out tomorrow because we gotta figure out what we want to talk about basically tomorrow. We have topics, but we just don't.
Whoever's watching right now, real quick, if you have an idea, community discussion. Drop it. Real quick.
Drop it in the comments or drop it in Discord if you're in the Discord. Speaking of the Discord.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
That's hilarious. Is that enough time for people to type ideas and post them with the delay? We got a serious air delay. But anyway, you can also post the suggestions in the Discord. Probably post them in both places just to be safe. There's a link. I just posted it in the chat.
That's right.
Yeah, they did make an emoji movie. That's why the Airhead candy movie was believable.
Oh, so
that's why I was like, I missed this completely, but I can totally believe it, huh?
Would y'all watch the Airhead candy movie?
I mean, I'm not opposed to it. It depends on like what the plot is. They could make it really interesting. Kind of, there's ways. You got different colored candy airheads, so you could give them different personalities and make the color correlate with a certain like what's that movie with the personalities, the Pixar movie
Inside Out.
Yeah, do like that, but with airhead characters.
Interesting.
See,
like a
Silver airhead needs to have a lineage that dates back to Silver Surfer's board.
What? Oh man, now airheads are Marvel characters.
Dope.
In the MCU.
They on some.
They gonna pull up on the next Avengers movie.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for the Silver Surfer.
That's the only reason why I'm excited for the Fantastic. Well, never mind. I'm sorry. That's not the only reason. The reason why
Phase 5.
Yeah. Galactus might be Galactus is probably the next Thanos.
Because that I remember the
Galactus, the planet.
It was like just a cloud in the early 2000s.
Yeah, that wasn't Galactus. I don't know what that was. That was just a
big money corpse using popular story content to cash in, and they didn't fully understand what they were dealing with. Yeah. That's what that was.
But a cloud, like a cloud of all things, you could have
Planet Eater cloud.
You made Galactus in,
and someone probably got a bonus just to have that.
Okay, we got panels on panels of artwork of Galactus and what he looks like that are way more compelling than a cloud, but y'all chose a cloud. Huh. Interesting.
Shout out to Tamales, one of the best.
Hot Tamales, the motion picture. That would be yo, is that the community discussion? Like what candy would be an interesting movie?
Hey, let's do it. I like that. I like that. A Snickers
that could work.
Would be nuts.
Just nuts.
Hey yo, is there an Eminem movie? There's an Eminem movie in there.
No, I'm surprised there's not. I think there's only been like commercials.
There's not an Eminem movie.
How is there not an Eminem movie? Like they literally made them into animated characters and everything for like years. Like, is they really not make a movie out of that?
Before the movie start,
bro, they had that like Mission Impossible pre.
Yeah, they had like Super Bowl commercials.
Yeah, that Mission Impossible commercial that they have that plays before a movie with the M&Ms.
Lemonhead,
bro. See, this is an interesting topic. Like, well, apply it with candy,
gummy bears,
like that.
Hey, yo, I don't know why when you said gummy bears, like I thought about Sausage Party, the movie.
Oh,
like, I don't know why, but like I could see a gummy bear movie just being like that. But anyway, let's talk about that tomorrow on the community hour. That's hilarious. That's weird. I like that. But yeah, so tune in tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on this channel for our annual Saturday cookout show. We talk about a variety of things, as you just heard here. Our community discussion is going to be about candy that can be made into a movie. And then, of course, in the Discord, we'll post what the community, the other topics up at the top of the hour will be. And then, yes, I know past 2 Sundays, I have missed Star Wars Sunday, and it's because I really hadn't had anything I wanted to talk about interesting. There's stuff going on, Star Wars related, High Republic stuff that I just like, I don't know. I didn't even want to talk about it. It wasn't that interesting, wasn't that compelling to do an entire show to. But this week we got some news. Secrets of the Sith book was announced, which has my mind racing because that could set up a whole lot of things that now I'm interested in talking about. And then Kessel Run Transmissions dropped an exclusive where they teased who they're in talks with to play Ezra Bridger in live action. So those are going to be the 2 topics for Sunday. Those are really good topics and things I'm actually interested in talking about. So that will be the Star Wars Sunday stream here on this channel at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm looking forward to it. Hope to see you all there. JBM, Donovan, y'all got any closing remarks?
Hey man, enjoy your Friday night. Enjoy your weekend. Catch you tomorrow.
Drive slow.
Drive slow. Yeah, absolutely. Drive slow, man. Hey, shout out to anybody in Texas.
Oh yeah.
That was all the stuff going on down there. I hope you're safe if you are.
Ted Cruz, what a guy.
Yeah.
No, I despise Ted Cruz, so sorry.
Yeah, well, yeah, prayers, yeah, man. Goodbye,
prayers up,
Texas, man.
Yeah, prayers up to you guys.
Yeah,
Definitely. And if you are and you're in a situation, let us know. We can find some way to help get the word out. I think there's ways to donate. We'll pull all that stuff together tomorrow too. We can put some links out on the in the stream for ways you can help people in Texas. But yeah, there's that. And like I always say, peace, love, blessings, and may the force be with you always.